Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the On Fire B2B podcast where we take business owners and CEOs in the B2B space. 6 questions, 9 minutes, because the best know when to be concise and when to end. Let's get to it. Question number 1, a few sentences. Tell me who you are and what do you do?
Martin Salgado. I am the founder of Influential Agency. We are a personal branding agency that helps entrepreneurs kind of develop their personal brands and share it across social media.
Awesome. Love it. Question number 2, Martin. What is the best thing about working with businesses?
You know, the best thing about working with businesses is kind of getting inside of that business and actually being able to kind of see parallels between industries. I would say that's probably the thing that I get from working with other businesses.
Awesome. Question number 3. I'm hearing from other top executives and owners that using quotes and testimonials from clients really increase conversions and sales. What are your thoughts?
I couldn't agree with that more. I think that getting testimonials from your clients or from people that have worked for you are kind of like that social proof that really helps kind of bind you to them and also kind of shows what you're about and what you do.
Yeah. And the important thing is to make sure it's not just Martin is great and wonderful, actually talking about the actionable things that you help them with.
Absolutely. If it isn't just about you, but it's about the actual service or the actual product that you help people with.
100% agree. Question number 4. What advice do you share with other companies working in the B2B industry? Go.
What I normally tell people is one is start creating long form content. If you're working with a specific industry, you have to first target them and find out where they're congregating, which I think we all kind of do through social media, whether it's we're jumping into Facebook groups or jumping into hashtags on LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter. Once you find those people, it's always everybody's kind of inclination to start pitching people right away with their product, with their service.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get into those groups, you want to be able to share value. So first thing that I do with my clients is help them kind of figure out what the questions are that these groups have, and then create long form content around that, whether it is a podcast, a blog article, anything of that nature, a video series on YouTube. Then when you're able to get into those groups and you see these questions being asked, you could actually drop in that long form content that you have, whether it's a podcast or whatever, to answer that question. So it actually makes you an authority in that space, and you're able to kind of just share value without actually selling. And the great thing about long form content is that you're actually able to dissect it and redistribute it across different social media platforms. So, if you're doing a podcast, you could actually take quotes from your podcast and post them on Twitter, or post them on Instagram, or take the whole blog or the whole topic of that podcast and turn it into a blog article or a video series or stuff like that. So creating long form content is really kind of the anchor that really feeds everything else. So I think that a lot of entrepreneurs right now are kind of missing out on creating long form content that's specifically driven towards their key demographic or who they want to serve. So that's the number one advice that I give to people, is start making long form content.
Okay. So I know long form content generally, you take a video, you can make it written, that part there, turn it into tweets. What is the easiest way to start with long form content? Is it video? Is it writing? What would you say?
I would say the easiest thing for people is what they're going to feel comfortable with, because some people are great on podcasts, some people are great on video, and some people are great writers. So you have to kind of figure out what your strength is, mm-hmm. and then just kind of pick that medium. So for me, it's really video content. I really think that video content is kind of king, because you can pull that audio and put it onto a podcast, and take that audio and make that into a blog article. Right. So that's what I like to do. I feel like video content is kind of just like the superior thing, because you can also put that on YouTube. You can put it on Instagram. You can put it on LinkedIn. You can put it on a bunch of different places. So I think that video content is probably the best. But for anybody that's just getting started with long form content, I would say pick what you're comfortable with first, and then just stick with that.
Love it. Let's get to question number 5. What other top CEOs and business owners in the B2B industry, like yourself, would you like to acknowledge as a leader? It should be a guest on my podcast.
Oh man, I know so many. Right off the top of my head, I'm going to go with my buddy, Mikhail Alfon. He is the CEO of Blue Light Media. Great guy. Another person who actually just started a great podcast also is Paul Tran. He's a great franchise guy that works with other businesses to kind of help them start restaurant franchises. And he's great with sales. So I think that those two guys are just great people to have.
Perfect. I'll look them up. We're done here. But number 6, Martin, most important question of the podcast. You got to focus on this one. Hey, Martin, tell me about your first time, your first sale.
Ooh. You know, my first sale was actually kind of funny. I used to work for a bail bonds company. I actually owned a bail bonds company for a while. And my first sale was somebody who was trying to help their loved one get out of jail. So that was my first sale, was actually getting on the phone with somebody and walking them through that process. That was kind of when I learned that sales was really just kind of helping people.
Right.
And that was, you know, because there's also these negative connotations for sales. And I felt like just taking that on as me just being a resource for people and trying to help them through that time was an amazing time for me to kind of see that as a sales vehicle.
Love it. Love it there. So Martin, you now have 3 minutes left. We can do some promo time. You can ask me a question. You can even talk about the weather. Or since the best know when to be concise and when to end, we end early. Go.
Well, first of all, I really appreciate your time, Bob. I love this. I love this layout, and I love this platform that you're doing your podcast on, man. So I'm definitely going to have to check out more of your episodes, and I really like what you're doing with this. Anybody that wants to link up with me or my company, they can follow me on LinkedIn or on Instagram at Martin J. Salgado, or check out my business website, influentialagency.co. So yeah, I really look forward to seeing more of your work and staying in contact with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You've got 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. Is there anything else you want to add, or we can end early and that's okay?
You know, there really isn't much that I want to add. The only thing I could say is for all the entrepreneurs that are out there, start making long form content, get out of your comfort zone, and you know, just kind of push yourself and challenge yourself to do more and really put yourself out there. I think that there is kind of a void in a lot of different industries of people that aren't willing to put themselves out there. So if you're willing and able to put yourself out there, make long form content, make video content, a podcast, whatever it is that you're doing for your industry, and if you're the only one that's doing that in your industry, you're going to kill it. So yes, everybody start making some long form content.
You pulled it off. 6 questions, 9 minutes, because the best know when to be concise and when to end. Website, say it.
Influentialagency.co.
In the description, it's magic. Martin, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome. And for everyone else watching or listening, make sure you check out more episodes of the On Fire B2B podcast. I am Bob Clark. You all have a wonderful day now. Talk to you later. Bye.